Hey everybody, this is Big T at Bitter End Choppers, and today I'm going to be giving you a little instruction on how to make a set of pre-fit forward control mounts for an 82-03 Sportster. What we're going to start out with are some big twin style forward control bosses. We got a 2-hole and a 3-hole, and that's going to be pretty much the essential part. And then I'm also going to use some 1-inch round mild steel to make the standoffs of the frame in order to mount these. As you can see, I've already made some little layout marks on these, and what that'll allow me to do is to make the rod perfectly centered in between the mount, so we get a nice clean, professional look, and they'll be even, and they won't be saggy or anything like that. And the first thing that I've done is set up the our mock-up 82-03 Sportster frame, or what's left of one, in our jig, and I've put in our forward control jig fixture. Really a pretty simple looking tool, and I've also went ahead and bolted the forward control bosses, as you can see, into it, and leveled the entire thing, both bottom ways and up these main rails, so it'll be perfectly square and level to the frame. And what I'm going to end up doing is taking the piece of round stock and cutting a fish mouth into one end of it, so it'll match up with the radius of the original frame rail on the bike. And then once that fish mouth's cut, it'll fit nice and perfect over the frame, and then I'll just cut down the stock until it fits perfectly in between the frame rail and the forward control boss. Alright, what I'm going to do now is fish mouth the end of our 1-inch standoffs, and in order to do that, I went ahead and put one of the pieces into the vise, clamped it down, made sure it's all level, and I'm going to take a 1.25 bit, which is the same OD as the down tube of the frame that we're going to be fitting this up to. And what I'm going to do is just turn on the machine. I've got the mill here zeroed out, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is feed in on that axis, pretty much left to right, and I'm going to go 5/8 of an inch deep, which is 1/2 inch, and that's going to give me a full fish mouth. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the auto feed and let this thing eat. Alright, the part's been fish mouthed, and as you can see, it's a really nice smooth radius, and it's going to end up fitting up really nice to our frame rail. Okay, now I have fish mouths cut in both of my standoff pieces, one for either side, and I intentionally cut these long on the saw so that when I fit them up I can make the cut them down on the lathe a little bit at a time, so they slowly fit up just perfect and nice and tight. So what I'm going to do next is take these pieces over to the lathe, and I'm just going to turn them and keep checking them a little bit on and off until I get a nice tight fitment between the frame rail and the new boss. Okay, I've got the left side forward control pretty much all ready to go. I jigged up the 1-inch round stock bar into place where it needed to be, cut it down to length, and it fits in there really nicely. And as you can see, I also added a little triangle gusset and tacked it into place, just so whenever the customer gets this, he can weld the whole thing to the frame, and this triangle gusset will give it a little more sturdiness, and it'll be a lot safer. You don't want your forward controls breaking off on the highway. Okay, as you can see, I gave the right side the same treatment as the left. Added the little gusset underneath for stability, and as you can see, they turned out nice and straight and even. That way when the customer gets them, all he'll really have to do is fit them up and weld them on, and he'll be good to go. all that's really left for us to do is to take them out and TIG weld them for strength and for a little bit of aesthetic quality, and these will be ready to box up and ship. Alright, our forward controls are completely done now. As you can see, they've been TIG welded all the way around and on the mount on both of them. Look really nice. I just went ahead and sandblasted them just so when the customer gets them, they'll weld up really strong, and he'll still be able to paint them whatever color he chooses. And I think he's going to be happy with them. By the way, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, these kind of parts and a whole lot more are available online, bitterendchoppers.com.